Welcome to Learned in Go-Go, the podcast. Hey guys, happy Thursday. I am so happy to be here. My name is Sydnee. I am your host, and I am also the author of Everything I Need to Know I Learned in Go-Go, How a Preacher's Daughter Pole Danced Her Way to Finding Her True Self. I am so happy to see you guys tonight. I'm a little bit early. You may notice this isn't where Sid's usually talking from. I'm on vacation. I'm with my family and my friends, and we are having a fantastic time. So I'm super excited to still be able to hop on here and see you guys tonight. I even have like this new mic thing. Whoa. I used it Saturday. Some of you also know that I co-host another podcast on Saturdays. It's called The Goddamn Program. And I love when you guys hop on there as well. It's me, I'm Sugar Hooter on there, and I hang out with Candy Sizzle and Mimi Horny. So if you're ever around on Saturday and are looking for a podcast to hop into, that's another good one. So that was the first time I used this like kind of mobile mic stand. So let's hope I don't knock it over tonight because it's different from my usual getup. But it has been a fantastic week down here. I hope that wherever you're tuning in from, you have had a wonderful week as well. It's kind of hard in this light to tell, but I got a little bit of sun. So that is awesome. I got the comments on, so please hop in and say hello if you are watching, because this is really only fun when I interact with you guys. So I would love to see you hopping in on the comments and let me know what you are up to tonight as well. As I mentioned when I started this, I have a book. It's called Everything I Need to Know I Learned in Go-Go. So you can pick up your copy of that at learnedingogo.com. I know a lot of you already have, and I really appreciate that. I love seeing that you guys are supporting me and have my back, and that is fantastic. Awesome. Erin is here. Hey, Erin. Hope you're doing awesome. I absolutely am, my friend. I hope you are too. Say hi to Lizzie, please. And I hope things are good with you guys. Erin, if you don't know, I've become part of this fantastic community. I am just so honored to be a part of it. Filmmakers, musicians, just artists, and they're also amazing. And Aaron's project is called The Legend of Bloody Bones. So definitely go follow him. Check out his movie. It's going to be fantastic. I cannot wait to see it. So tonight, because I'm on vacation, I want to know from you guys, what kind of vacations do you enjoy? Are you beach people? Are you mountain people? Are you going on a cruise? Like, what kind of things do you enjoy? Yay, Lizzie's here too. Hi, Lizzie. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. I'm so glad you're here too. But like a lot of people, there's kind of like camping people, and then there's hotel people, and then there's people that don't want to go anywhere. So what is your like favorite vacation spot? Like, do you go somewhere year after year that you went when you were growing up? Do you have like a new place every year? Like, I want to hear from you guys. What do you like to do for vacation? Because right now I'm down the shore. That's what we say in this area, like to go to the beach. You go down the shore. That's a Jersey thing, Jersey, PA thing. And absolutely love it. It's been wonderful weather this week. So hang out on the beach for a little bit. Actually, the ocean water has been fantastic. Been able to go swimming, which is wonderful. And then go on the boardwalk. There's rides, there's food, there's shopping. My husband got me this cool outfit on the boardwalk this week. So, like we just enjoy the sea air and the scenery and the shopping and everything. Lizzie says, I want to go on a cruise so bad, but we haven't gotten to yet. Bucket list, baby. You guys will get there. Absolutely. Let me know, do you want to go anywhere in particular on a cruise, or is it just anywhere you'll take it? Aaron says, I would love to go to an old growth forest. That's pretty cool. Is that like somewhere in Europe, or is that like redwoods? I've never heard that term before, an old growth forest. So if you could tell me what that means, I would love that. Hey, Frankie is joining us live from the Seashore Points. Let's fucking go. How you doing tonight, my friend? Happy to see you in the comments as well. Frankie is my friend, my producer from when I started this podcast. He has several podcasts, so you'll have to follow him, check out his plethora of podcasts. So cool. Lizzie says, my dream is Bermuda. Beautiful. I have never been there, but I have heard it is gorgeous. So I absolutely agree with you. Bermuda would be a wonderful, wonderful place to go check out. I would love to do that someday too. Honestly, I'm not about cruises. I know lots of people are. I'm scared of the whole stomach bug thing. That's my own thing. We sent my parents on a cruise for their anniversary a few years ago, and they absolutely loved it. Had the time of their life. They won't stop talking about it, like their cruise, and want to do it again. And my besties who are on vacation with us now love to cruise. Like, so I'm not poo-pooing it for everybody, but for me, that's not on my list just because I'm a little scared of the whole like stomach bug rumor, of it. So let's see. Aaron says about the old growth forest, like in Washington State and Oregon, really old and thick. Okay, I can picture what you mean by that because they have like the pines that are like super triangles, like real thick together. I know what you mean by that. Okay, I just had never heard that term before, so thank you. That is awesome. Yeah, now I'm thinking about Bermuda. Crystal clear water. I must say that this week the ocean has been super clear for Jersey. Like it's not crystal clear like it would be in Bermuda, but you could see your feet, and that never happens. And on top of that, okay, so I need to get a sip of my drink. I'm a little dry here. I hope y'all are joining me. Cheers, if you are, because it's drink o'clock. I've been on vacation. It's been drink o'clock for a while. So yeah, my bestie and my youngest and I were swimming, and there was something in the water. We don't know what it was. It's about yay long. It was striped. Kind of looked like a big fat caterpillar. It was like this big. So we named it the Jersey Striped John because we don't know what it is. Did not bite. Did not bother us. I mean, it like swam around us, but I still don't know what it was. I don't know if it was a type of eel or if it was a fish. It didn't look like a fish. Like I said, it looked more like a fat cat. Like if you grew up in the 80s like I did, there used to be these little like pipe cleaner worms, and they kind of were like fat and then skinny and had little Google eyes. Kind of reminded me of that. So, okay, yes. So Aaron says, I also have to take Lizzie to the Pine Barrens. I 100% am behind this. I will take you guys on a tour. Come up, visit me. Lizzie says, yes, you do. I grew up camping in the Pine Barrens. Love the Pine Barrens. I have a brother that lives in the Pine Barrens. We got your back. We will go hunt the Jersey Devil. He is real. I've mentioned on this podcast before that I have seen him. I got you. Sorry, this is like a mirror. So when I think I'm hitting one side, I'm hitting the other. Love the Pine Barrens. So whenever you guys can come up, it's a date. So yeah, Lizzie says, woohoo, got you, girl. We're going to go into the Pine Barrens. That is awesome. Yes, Aaliyah. Hello there. Hello, sweetie. I'm so happy that you are here tonight as well. And we're just talking about vacation. So pop in the comments. If you're just joining us, welcome. We're talking about vacations. Where have you been? Where do you want to go? What is your favorite type of vacation? Like, is it something that you do? Is it something that you would like to do? So Aaron says that he has a horror movie idea planned for it. Awesome. Pine Barrens is a wonderful place to film a horror movie. Super duper cool. Paul is here too. Hey, buddy. My friend Paul, he is awesome. Jersey Devil, good stuff. LOL. Paul's a Jersey boy. He knows. He knows what we're talking about here. And I have seen it. Girl Scout camp, I saw him. Christian camp, I saw him. He's real, guys. He is totally real. He's not what you think, but he's out there. So super fun. And the pine barrens are cool too because blueberries grow wild there. You can like pick blueberries. Pine barrens are a great place to grow cranberries, that sandy soil. Super duper cool place. Like it's unlike anywhere else. So you really do have to see it to believe it. So that is cool. Paul is going to Gettysburg in 2 weeks. Super duper cool place too. I have never been, which is stupid because it's close. But definitely let me know how you liked it. Because Gettysburg has a lot of haunts as well. We're kind of doing vacation and haunted in one now. But let's see. Aaron says a werewolf. A werewolf in the Pine Barrens. Okay, this is funny. So you guys know I have mind to mouth syndrome. I'm very like if I think it, I say it. So you said werewolf, Pine Barrens. Reminded me of my older brother when we were growing up. We all used to go to this camp, super awesome camp in the Pine Barrens. Um, and I was a camper, and my older brother was working maintenance there that summer. So he and one of his best friends were working maintenance, and they got this werewolf costume. And they used to scare the campers in this werewolf costume. And I just remember they would go, there was center camp, which was where all the cabins were, where you had bathroom, like all of the amenities, you had running water and all that. Then there was a place called Outpost. And when you camped in Outpost, they were shelters. So you'd have to like go use porta pots. You pumped your own water. There was a well that you pump your own water, fireplace to cook your food, that kind of stuff. So my brother and his friend in a werewolf outfit go down and start going into the cabins and outposts. And his friend's dressed as a werewolf, and he starts tickling the camper's face, with the fur. Kid's dead asleep. And he thinks it's his friend George messing with him. So he's like, George, cut it out. Tickles him again with the werewolf cock. George, cut it out. He's got his eyes closed. One more time he goes, George, cut it out. I'm going to kick your... Like opened his eyes and saw the werewolf and just pooped himself. Hilarious. Like, gotta do that at camp. That's part of the whole thing. So when you said werewolf and Pine Barrens, I immediately thought of my brother's friend doing that. The other thing was his friend was dressed as the werewolf, and it was like the one day was super duper hot, passed out in the middle of the trail as the werewolf, out cold from the heat. So that wasn't as scary, I guess. But yeah, that's where my brain went. All right. So Paul says, hope I'm having a good vacay. I am having the best vacation. Thank you, my friend. It's been an amazing week. I'm so grateful. Leah says, last week was my birthday week. Happy birthday, beautiful. And my kids came from out of state to take me to the ocean. Side note, clothing outlets. Got to go outlet shopping for sure. That is awesome. Paul takes his son to Batstow Village in the Pine Barrens. That's awesome. For those who are unfamiliar with Batstow, that is the town where the Jersey Devil was supposedly born. I know the name of the family. I'm having a brain fart, but the Jersey Devil, by legend, was the 13th child. And if you know the name of the family, put it in the comments. I know it. I'm just having a brain burp. But when he was born, the mom was like pissed off about Leeds. Thank you, Dee. Woohoo! Dee's my bestie who's here with me. She's downstairs. Thank you. Oh, Leeds. We got leads from Dee, leads from Paul, leads from Aaron. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I was totally having a brain fart. But so apparently she was having the 13th child and was just sick of having kids and was like, I hope it's a devil. Cursed her kid. He flew up the chimney with his big bat wings and his hoofs. And yeah, that's the story anyway. So let's see here. Where were we? That was Batstow Village. Dig a hole for the latrine. That was canoe camp. We did that because you'd have to pull off the side of the Delaware River and just dig a hole, for if you were having, the hole was for the burgers. If it was just a Coke, you could hop in the river and take care of that. But if, it was a little more than that, you had to dig a hole, your little cover it up and all that. Let's see here. Paul says, Gettysburg has a ton of haunted tours as well. That's why I want to go. Because not for nothing, I have been seeing things in this house. And my friends and I have discussed who it is, but excuse me, when I was doing the podcast on Saturday, I saw it a lot. And then my husband also saw same thing. So there's good ghosts here. I love ghosts. A female werewolf story. Okay, I'm even more intrigued. You have to come up to the Pine Barrens and make this movie for your she-wolf. Let's see here. Yes, Dee says it's supposedly a relative. Yep, good ghost. Good ghost in this house. So I'm happy to see her. Let's see. Paul says, did that in the army, stuff you'd never thought you'd have to do to dig a hole. Yep. Sometimes you just have to dig a hole. It's what you have to do. Oh, Lizzie says another bucket list item for us is ghost tours in London. That would be awesome. When I was in London, I did not do a ghost tour, but I would absolutely love to. And Dee, who was just in the comments, my bestie, we're going to be in New Orleans later in the year and definitely need to do ghost tours in New Orleans because it's fucking New Orleans. So you have to. Paul, oops, wrong one. Paul says Shakira, she-wolf. Yeah. Okay, maybe Aaron's she-wolf will be Shakira. I don't know. We'll have to stay tuned. Everybody follow Aaron's social media so you can stay in the know with the movies. Paul says Jack the Ripper in London. I am fascinated with the Jack the Ripper story. I watched the special on H.H. Holmes where it was his descendant was convinced that he was Jack the Ripper. And then it turned out that apparently they proved by DNA that it wasn't H.H. Holmes, but H.H. Holmes was. If you're unfamiliar with him, he built, I think they called it the Castle, and it was out in Chicago. So he would run an insurance scam where he would have people make him the beneficiary of their insurance and then he'd kill them. But he had this like hotel set up so that he could kill them and then he'd basically stick them down laundry chutes where they would go to the basement where he would dispose of the bodies and he'd collect the insurance money. Which is pretty cuckoo. I mean, it's pretty genius in a sick way, but it's definitely cuckoo. And yay, Steve's on another one of my besties. Hey, buddy. New Orleans, yes. I'm not going to say how old Dee's turning, but it might be a birthday trip. That's all I'm going to say. Let's see. Aaron says Scotland, Germany, Japan, and London to hunt for spring-heeled Jack. Oh, okay. I've never heard him called that. Spring-heeled Jack. That's pretty cool. Yeah, Paul says messed up. H.H. Holmes was fucked up. I mean, the stuff that happened back then, I really don't think you could get away with now with DNA and, you know, how much forensics have evolved over the years. But there's always going to be, you know, people get away with stuff. But not like that. That was like crazy cuckoo bananas what he did. And the amount of money that he would get from people's insurance and then like just keep doing it. And the names, like he'd just pick a different name because that's another thing you can't really do as easily now. I'm sure it can be done, but you can't just go from town to town and change your name as easily with the internet now. I mean, I'm saying that and y'all know me as like 15 different names, but I mean to do nefarious things. You can't do that. Excuse me. Let's see. Aaron says Spring-heeled Jack wasn't Jack the Ripper. He was a cryptid. I have not heard of him. Okay, I'm very curious. I'm going to have to look up more information on Spring-heeled Jack. I'm not familiar at all with this. And I just learned there's a cryptid in Pennsylvania. I think it's called the squonk. And he cries and like I'm going to have to look this up, guys, because when I saw it, I was like, oh, let me see here. I'm just going to type real quick so I can't see you guys for a second, but I will be right back. Is it the squonk cryptid? Yes. Okay. So it is a mythical creature that lives in the hemlock forest of northern Pennsylvania. But what was it about his tears? Let's see. Because he has misfitting skin, which is covered with warts and moles, he's always unhappy. And they're able to track him by his tear-stained trail. That's hard to say. For the animal weeps constantly. When cornered, an escape seems impossible, or when surprised and frightened, it may dissolve itself in tears. How sad is the squonk? That's just a sin. Like, what? That's terrible. Okay. Back to our conversation. Paul said, speaking of haunted, ever been to Eastern State? I have not, and that is on my bucket list. Every year around Halloween, for those who aren't from the area, Eastern State is a state penitentiary in Philly that's been closed down for a long time. It's really, really old and very, very haunted. And they do Halloween, like tours and stuff like that, where obviously they have people dressed up to come out and, scare you. But even if it's not Halloween, it's supposedly very haunted. You can do tours. So it's always been on my list. That has been, and Fort Delaware has been. That's another haunted place. That's in the middle of the Delaware River. You have to take a boat to get to it, and that's apparently very haunted as well. So that is another like haunted place. That's the thing. Being as close to Philadelphia as I am, I'm sure there's all kinds of ghost-related things that you can do in Philadelphia just because of the age of the city alone. There's got to be a lot of hauntings. And let's see. Oh, Steve said that there is a Genesis song about the squonk. Oh, buddy. He's just so. I just want to hug the squonk. That's so sad. But back to Philadelphia. My thought is, though, there's all these hauntings. There's the Jersey Devil. There's Eastern State Penitentiary. There's, the Betsy Ross or, whoever. Why are there like no ghosts from like the 90s haunting places? You know what I mean? Like they're always Revolutionary War people or like, stuff like that. It's like, why? When's there going to be like somebody that was really into Pearl Jam and just died and is haunting, walking around singing Jeremy? Like you don't ever hear about that. You just hear about like 100-year-old ghosts. Steve is sharing the lyrics of the song for the squonk. Oh, a pool of bubbles and tears, just a pool of tears. That's so sad. Aaron says the first sighting of Spring-Heeled Jack was 1837, and he could leap over 10 feet in the air, had razor-sharp claws, and breathed blue fire. That sounds familiar. Maybe I have heard of Spring-Heeled Jack. That's pretty badass. Let's see. Steve said Lisa Kudrow is in that Awful Time Bandits series. I feel like I missed a comment. Excuse me, Time Bandits. Let's see. Oh, I'd call that a haunting from the 90s. Ha ha. Ha ha ha. Okay. Ren's on. Hey, beautiful. Another one of my besties. I'm loving that so many of my besties are on here talking tonight. This is so fun. Okay. She said, I always felt Gettysburg is full of spirits. I agree. Because the energy in that place alone from all of the death and everything, like it would have to be full of spirits. Honestly, the United States in general has to be full of spirits because the millennia of Native Americans that lived here before, it got invaded by Europeans and everything alone, there's got to be tons and tons of spirits. So, and Paul says, agreed, Ren. We walk the battlefields at night and see lots of orbs. That's so cool. I love, that's just got to be super cool. Is it like scary energy, Paul, or is it just like sad energy? Like what, is there an energy attached to Gettysburg when you're there? Because I would think it would be sad, but it might be like, frightening because of the people fighting and how they left that energy imprint. I need to go there because I have not yet. But again, like I said, it's close. I need to take advantage of things that are nearby. So, okay, Paul says, no, it's so peaceful. Okay, that's cool. I like that. I like that that's the energy there. And Ren agrees it's amazing. So that's cool. All right, so now that we've gone from vacations to hauntings, have you ever been in a place that was haunted? Like, share your stories, because I have always been sensitive since I was little. So I've always seen ghosts and heard things and stuff like that. So to me, it's kind of like, oh, hey, somebody else is here. And for the most part, it's always been friendly. It's never been anything scary. So I feel lucky that way because I've heard some horror stories about hauntings where, it hasn't been a peaceful exchange. So Aaron says Texas is covered in ghosts and haunted places. Even as a kid, the Alamo scared me really badly. Felt pressure on the top of my head. Oh, that's scary. I was in the Alamo 2 years ago, not this past summer, the summer before, and I didn't have any experiences like that. But I was so determined to find someone and ask them where the basement was because I'm such a Pee Wee fan that maybe I wasn't in the right time frame. But yeah, that I was there, but it was, also it was like completely distracting because it was so bloody hot when I was down there. So I give you Texans credit. You have an amazing ability to thrive in a stupid hot environment because it was so hot. Oof. Paul says, I would love to walk some haunted areas or graveyards with the sensitive. Absolutely. Yes. Yes, because it's like I'm talking about it and I'm getting goosebumps. That's really funny. I used to hang out in a cemetery when I was growing up. And it was just like you kind of just get all kinds of emotions. But just hanging out there was mostly peaceful. But like sometimes you'd pick up on something. So that's cool. Ren says twice I've seen a shadow person. I'm not the only one. Look up the Hat Man. I saw him when I was 5. I've heard of the Hat Man. I think I listened to a podcast called Morbid, and it's about true crime, but it's also about spooky yuki stuff. And I feel like maybe someone, because they do a listener tales episode, they actually read one I sent in, so that was like, oh, that meant the world to me. But I feel like somebody sent in a listener tale about the Hat Man. That rings a bell. So I will definitely look that up and see what that's about because that sounds really, really familiar. Aaron says, I've seen 4 to 5 legit ghosts in my life and even have a photo of one I took with a disposable camera. That is really cool. I would love to see that if you have it somewhere you can upload it. That's really, really cool. Paul says, I imagine it can be kind of overwhelming sensitivity. It is. It is absolutely like being in crowds. I love people. I don't love being out around people unless I have the time to kind of like sage myself is kind of the best way to put it because especially like I love going to concerts, but the next couple of days I need to just because it's so much and it's usually positive energy, but it's just overwhelming the amount that I take in and then I just need to be like, okay, need some alone time for a couple of days to kind of center again. So yeah, like even here walking on the boardwalk, I need to, like come back and just kind of for a sec, like and just cleanse myself emotionally, if that makes sense. And it's not always a bad thing. It's just, it can be just too much, if that makes sense. So sometimes you kind of feel like you're going to pop, like, is it, you're just taking in too much energy. Let's see. Aaron says, I saw a man in a top hat and black coat. He was a 3D shadow man. Wow. That's awesome, actually. Like I can imagine that. Let's see. Ren says, The Nightmare is a documentary about shadow people. Yep. Shadow people are a lot of what I see. So I can definitely relate to what you guys are talking about. And Aaron says he can send me the picture of my messenger. Please. I'm nosy and I want to see. That sounds so cool. Hey, Eric. Yay. I've known Eric. I'm not going to tell people how long we've known each other because then they'll think we're old. But thank you for hopping on. It's so good to see you. And Ren says that's him talking about, I'm guessing, the shadow man that Aaron mentioned. So, yep, it's interesting that so many people see the same shadow man. Like that, I want to see this documentary because that sounds really cool. And I'm always loving to learn. I love to learn. I love to take in information and especially about things spooky and supernatural, like things like that. I'm a true crime junkie, and it's kind of out of control. Dave and I go to sleep usually watching Forensic Files or, like Discovery ID, stuff like that. Like, I have always been fascinated with stuff like that. So, and I think the supernatural stuff is just because I've seen things and everything. That's where that interest lies. Um, but it's cool to hear you guys' stories too. Like that it's not always the same types of things that people see, but then you guys see the same shadow man. It's all connected. It's kind of freaky deaky. Oh, Aaron just, if you heard the thing, that was Aaron sending me the picture. Thank you. Ren says, Ben calls them my murder shows. That's fair. That is fair. And Paul says, we had a friend who was a bit of an empath, I believe. She had never been in our house and said she saw an old lady at the top of our steps in a vision. She described her to us, and it was almost an exact match for the previous owner, even saying she had a southern drawl in her voice. She was from Kentucky, the previous owner. That's creepy. I love stuff like that. But that's like, to have that much detail, that is really fascinating. And that happens sometimes. Like, I've dreamed things and they've come true. Like, and that's not always a fun thing. I've dreamed things that I wish hadn't come true. And I also have kind of like premonitions. I used to freak everybody out in one of our old houses because I could tell when the house phone was going to ring. Yeah, it was the 90s. There were no cell phones. But I would go get that. And my mom would be like, what? And I'm like, the phone. And then it would start ringing. And she's like, stop that. Like, I could just tell when that was going to happen. And also, when I grew up in Burlington, I woke up in the middle of the night, which at this point in my life wasn't common. Now I get up, a few times a night. But I was a teenager, and I woke up and I ran to my window, which, why would I do that, And about 5 seconds later, the gas station around the corner exploded. And I was like freaking out. But it was like, I woke up and like, why would I do that? But somehow I knew something was going to happen out that window. So go see. So that was kind of creepy. And let's see. Oh, Paul says Burlington County Jail super haunted. Is that in Mount Holly? Is that jail? And Aaron says it was a lady we saw standing in front of a grave dressed all in black, and she was dressed all Victorian mourning. So I took a picture. She's transparent, and when I looked, nothing. Okay, I'm going to scoot over to my Facebook real quick because I definitely want to see this. So pardon me. I'm looking at Aaron's picture. I wish I knew how to share it on. Holy shit. Aaron, let me know if I have your permission to share this after I post the podcast. Like, I can add it to the comments after the fact, I believe, or share it on my page so that everybody here can see it, because that is crazy. You can absolutely see her. Wow. That's awesome. Like, I've seen photos that people take that have orbs floating, but I've never seen something that is like so obviously a person. That is wicked. Thank you for sharing that with me. That's crazy. I've shared before that my college dorm room was haunted. And my roommate and I, for whatever reason, always thought it was a little boy, which was odd because it was a college dorm. But we thought it was maybe like a 3-year-old boy. The ghost was like mischievous, but never did anything bad, like just kind of annoying. Like, I'd go where my dorm was all the dorm rooms, but then you'd have like a community bathroom, like we didn't have our own bathrooms. So you'd have your little basket of shower stuff, and have to go down. And I had my lotion on my desk, and I go down and get a shower, and I come back and it's gone. And my roommate was at class the whole time, and we were the only ones with keys to the room. So I knew nobody had gone in there. I found it like in the back of my closet, not anywhere I would have put it. And I'm just like, dude, come on, like just that kind of stuff, hiding stuff from us. And I bought one of my besties that lived across the hall. I got her the Queensryche Empire CD for Christmas. So, we get back from Christmas break and she opens it, brand new CD, puts it in. If you guys know Queensryche, it played every song except for Silent Lucidity, and Anybody Listening, which are both kind of like haunting ballads. It would just skip right over it. I think they're like 8 and 11. I don't remember off the top of my head, but it would go 7, 9, and we'd put it back on 8, hit play. It would skip to the next one. And finally, like, we're halfway through the next track. I'm like, can we just listen to Silent Lucidity? And it started playing on its own, like just stupid shit. Nothing like earth shattering that they're going to make a movie out of. But I had that experience in college. And the other thing was we would light incense all the time, and the smoke would like travel over to me, and I'd say, go see Erica, it was my roommate, and the smoke would like move over to her. And like, it was just really cool how it would like kind of travel. And one day a girl walked in that hadn't been in her room before, and the smoke went against the way the wind was blowing. Like the wind was coming in the window and the smoke was trying to escape. See, I knew I was going to knock this thing over, guys. And we're like, no, it's okay. She's cool. And the smoke turned around and came back in. Like, it was really wicked. It was really cool. Let's see. Aaron says, when I looked up, she was not standing there anymore, and she couldn't have gotten past me. Talking about, if you're just hopping in, Aaron sent me a picture he took that has this woman. It's in a graveyard. It's like really cool. We're going to share it on my page later. Thank you for the permission. I appreciate that. He says, of course you can share. I'm showing it so everybody knows. No, I'm just kidding. Paul says, Jet City Woman. Yes. And that is one of the songs on my compilation playlist that you get. If you order a copy of my book from me, a personalized copy, you get a free compilation playlist. And one of the songs on it is Jet City Woman by Queensryche, because I used to dance to that all the time. What flavor incense? I don't know specifically, except it wasn't sandalwood, because I'm very sensitive to sandalwood. It makes me sick. So I know it wasn't that. Hey, Luna Projects, you're on. Hey, sweetie. So she says, when I was working in radio in Abilene, Texas, I was leaving for the night and no one was around as I put my car in reverse and looked in my rearview mirror. I seen my dead grandfather in my backseat. Oh my God. I turned to look and he said, it's going to be all right, and disappeared. Oh, I love when deceased relatives come back to give us comfort and give us direction. That is just so, that makes my heart happy. I'm so glad he came to give you that message, because sometimes they know exactly what we need and they're looking out for us. So that is amazing. Paul says, that's a cool moment in the graveyard. Yeah, that's super cool. And whoops. Aaron says, we had a storm tunnel as a kid. A sewer worker died and his ghost started to show up to us as blue light coming down from a tunnel that was no outlet. That's crazy. Wow. And Luna Project says he visited my gram too. That's so awesome. It's because he loved you guys. And he wanted to make sure you were okay. I love that. Love, love, love that. My mom comes to me in my dreams sometimes, my grandmother. And she absolutely, looked over all of us and loved us dearly. So that always makes me happy. And Ren says, I hear Mo's claws tip-tapping on the floor, and of course he's not here anymore. Oh, Mo was her kitty cat, and he was so cool. And it's funny how pets do come back to visit us. Maya, who was the yellow lab that we had before Lexi, I see her a lot, and one of the, like, I'll go to let Lexi out, and Lexi's not there. It's, it's Maya. But one time I saw Maya in the kitchen, and it's to the point now, like, and that's where Maya normally shows up, which she's a lab, that makes sense. But I remember the one day I came into the living room and I'm like, oh, Maya's out in the kitchen. And Lexi went to go out in the kitchen and just stopped quick and got this look on her face like, holy shit. And we're like, oh, Lexi saw Maya too. So it's funny how, pets can sometimes see things too. And it's just, like, I just think Maya's just coming back because she's hungry. She's always in the kitchen. Oh, Luna says that she feels her Luna sometimes. That's the worst part of owning pets, is that they don't stay around long enough. They don't live long enough. But they're all wonderful, and I'm so glad that we can share our lives with pets because they're just fantastic. Lizzie says, at our old house, a door-to-door salesman came up. I could hear the leaves crunching and sat there looking and waiting for the bell. I guess he saw the no soliciting sign because he just vanished. not left, vanished. Dude, he was going to sell you some like otherworldly vacuum cleaner. That's crazy. He's, he's just like, what is he coming around for? Sir, I don't want your ghost cookies. Like, whatever it is, he said. Jeez, that's crazy. Paul says, agreed on the pets. Yep, they're so awesome. Oh, and thank you. Luna Project says, happy birthday, Lexi. My my Lexi girl, my yellow lab, turned 12 yesterday. So can't wait to spoil her rotten when we get back home. Um, and I can't believe she's 12 already. That went by in a blink. But she is, even though she's a grumpy granny now and she's a crotchety old fart, she's still my loaf. I love her dearly and she's a sweetheart. So Paul says he was selling you ectoplasma, Lizzie. Was it Slimer in a suit? Maybe it was. Maybe he was like dressing up as a salesman, but it was actually some. Yeah, it's a good thing he didn't answer. Maybe it was like the frickin' priest from Poltergeist 2. That guy was freaky as hell. And the thing about that was the first time that I saw it, and some of you in the comments might know who I'm talking about, so I'm not going to name names. But the first time that I saw Poltergeist 2, the Reverend Kane reminded me of one of the parishioners in my dad's church at the time. And when I saw him the next Sunday, I about pooped my pants because he really looks like the guy. And I'm just like, oh, that's Reverend Kane. He's going to start singing that song. Crazy. Lizzie says, I never answer if I can help it. Amen, girl. I have been known to like dive behind the couch. Like, unless it's somebody that I know, and even then it depends on my mood. If it's like somebody that I'm, just peripherally know, I will hide. I will like, especially if you're PJ, what is it? I always said PJ Wheelhands. That's the restaurant. No, what is it? PJ Fitzpatrick. Is that the ones that always come around because they tell you, because of the recent storm, your roof is damaged, even if there's no storm. They're just trying to sell you a new roof or windows or whatever, and they constantly come around knocking on the door. So what I say, because usually their first question is, do you own your home? And usually I say no. And they think that means that we rent the home, when really it means until the mortgage is paid off, the bank owns the home. So I'm not lying. But I don't want your roof because you're lying. There was no hailstorm recently. Let's see. Aaron says the actor was dying of stomach cancer. Oh my God, I didn't know that during the role and died before the movie came out. So Reverend Kane died before the. That's horrible. I didn't know that. I wonder if he was a real nice dude in real life and he just had like the scary thing down. I wonder about that stuff sometimes. That movie was cursed though, because like the girl that played Carol Ann died, and wasn't there a lot of like really bad karma attached to that movie? Hey, hey, Kyler, what's up? I got a hey. I had the hey back. So I'm just so happy that everybody's in here. This is so cool. And Ren says Dominique Dunn was murdered. Yes, I do remember that. Wasn't she murdered because somebody came to her door? Like, not to tie everything together, but I think somebody like was stalking her and like knocked on her door, and then when she answered it, oh, it was her ex. Okay. So we have Steve saying the teenage girl in Poltergeist was stabbed to death by her boyfriend, and Run saying ex-boyfriend. And Luna saying pretty sure. Hope everyone is doing well. You too, my friend. I hope you are doing well too and having a fantastic Thursday night. Aaron says, yep, you're right. Dragged her to the side of the house. Horrible. Okay, so we have stabbed, we have strangled. Either way, horribly killed by an ex-boyfriend and tied to this movie. What killed Carol Ann? Because that wasn't Dominique Dunn. Dominique Dunn was the older sister, right? I think. I haven't seen this movie in forever because I'm one of the people that, had the clown fear because of Poltergeist for a long, long time. but I'm better now. I've been working on it. Speaking of better now, Skull says, I'm doing better now than I was a few hours ago. Depression hit hard. I am sending you so much love and hugs. I'm glad you're doing better now. Please always reach out if you're feeling like that, because we're all here for you. And, it can be awful. I know firsthand. So please don't ever be afraid to reach out to us, because we're here to support, even if, there's nothing we can quote unquote do, just so you know that you're not going through it by yourself, because we love ya. And Paul says, humans are amazing creatures. Yeah, amazing good and amazing bad. Acute bowel disease, she was born with it. Okay, that was Carol Ann. I do remember hearing about that. Let's see. Stabbed just after finishing being in V. I remember that show, V. Didn't one of them eat a guinea pig in the show? Maybe that's why I remember it. I got a cough, excuse me. Oh, sorry. Let's see. When Ren says, sorry, I'm full of useless celebrity trivia. I hear you. Me too. Aaron said, couldn't have said it better. Yep. We're all here. We are all here for each other. That's what I love about this community, is we all go through stuff and we're all here for each other. So don't ever forget that, any of yous. Okay. Ren says, Rebecca Schaefer was supposed to be in V, but was shot by a stalker. Is she the one that was in, was it My Sister Sam? Was that her? Because I think that's who I'm thinking of, that answered the door and got killed by a stalker. I think I'm getting my celebrities mixed up. Thank you. And I did. A good friend was there for me. I'm glad, sweetie. I'm really glad. Sending you big hugs through the screen. Ren says, My Sister Sam. Yep. Okay. So I was right about who that was. And Aaron says, also poltergeist happened in Crosby, Texas. Was an old graveyard. They didn't move the bodies, just the stones. See, that's why you need to respect those who came before us. And I just saw that the poltergeist house is for sale. I'm guessing the one that they used for the movie. Maybe it's the actual house. But it looks like the house from the movie. But I mean, at the end of the movie, it blew up, right? Wink. So I'm not sure. It was definitely like, that's a classic horror movie. And that, I always think of the pool scene, because they didn't tell the actress that played the mom, I'm having another brain burp, but they didn't tell her that they were using actual human skeletons in that scene. So she thought they were like plastic, and they were actually like really real humans. That's, ugh. Yeah, it's going in your mouth, and it's somebody's Aunt Susie. Like, at least give somebody a heads up, Luna Project says, I'm sure it's haunted. I'm sure it is too. Like, some places you just don't mess with, like come on, you should know better. Ren said, that's what Ben said. Ben said, it's My Sister Sam, or I've got so many conversations going on in my head right now. I'm sorry. Paul says, business opportunity. I'm going to mute myself. I got to cough again. I'm sorry, guys. Sorry, I don't know what is like. I got a throat tickle. All right, yes. Poltergeist 3 was the movie. Fucked me up when I was a kid. I don't remember 3. I remember 1 and 2. I have to think what happened in 3. In real life, it affected the whole neighborhood, not just one house. That makes sense, because I'm sure that the burial ground was bigger than 1 acre, or probably it was a neighborhood like quarter acre. So it should have affected the whole neighborhood. Paul's laughing at my someone's Aunt Susie line. Ren says the house imploded at the end. Yes, it didn't explode. It imploded. You are correct. And Luna's saying allergy. It could be. I think it might be sand, like just from being out by, sitting on the beach. I think I don't know. It's just, I hate when I like start coughing, and I feel like it's annoying. I apologize. Let's see here. Aaron says Reverend Mallory does have a taste of inspiration of Reverend Kane. Is Reverend Mallory in Poltergeist 3? Because I don't remember ever seeing the third one. I don't even recall there being a third one. I remember the second one. I remember the tequila worm with Craig T. Nielsen, and the giant worm. That I remember. Ren says Carol Ann in a haunted apartment building, I think. They just got worse and worse. Okay, now that you said that, I kind of can picture an ad with her in an apartment. Let's see here. Oh, I'm a dumbass. I'm sorry. Aaron says Reverend Mallory is my picture. I know that. I'm telling. Okay. True transparency. I'm on vacation. So this started like noon today. So my brain's a little saturated. Sorry about that. Let's see here. Oops. Luna Project says, I just watched Back to the Future, which I hadn't seen in years. I had not seen it in years until April. I went to the Great Media Comic Con, and on the Friday night, they had a screening of Back to the Future. And I hadn't seen it in forever. And I was just like, oh, because one of my besties who passed away, and I used to watch it when, like back in the 80s. And we were kids, and we thought the funniest part was when Doc would just like look at his watch, waiting for the lightning, and he's like, damn, 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 damn. And we used to say that all the time because we were little. So that was like, ooh, bad word. But it was cool because I met Claudia Wells, who plays Jennifer in Back to the Future that weekend. And she's just a sweetheart. She's just a super nice person. But that's a great movie too. And I just saw actually that Michael J. Fox is not doing well, which is sad, but he's been dealing with Parkinson's for decades. And he's just been so strong. So it's sad that, things are getting bad for him. Let's see. Ren just said, I was just talking about the tequila worm scene. They used an actor with half a body to play the demon. Wow. See, practical effects, man. Giving people jobs rather than using all computers. So, thank you for forgiving me, Aaron. He said it's all good. And Luna says, it holds up great. Hard to believe it's almost. Yeah, Back to the Future was a classic movie. Super cool. The first one. And then Johnny is not in the comments tonight, but my friend Johnny Necro, you guys might know him as, I met at the Comic-Con too, and he was dressed up as Doc. And he was Doc. Like, they had DeLorean out front. Johnny's doing pictures with everybody. Like, it was just hilarious. That was a really, really good time. Let's see. Aaron says, the worm also has Reverend Kane's face and smiles at the dad before it crawls down the hole. Yes. Oh, my God. I can see it. He's like, oh, yeah. I remember that. Whew. Ren says she almost made out with her son. Oh, Claudia. I was like thinking of Reverend Kane. We're going from Poltergeist to Back to the Future. Poltergeist to Back to the Future. Yeah. Can you imagine what his future would have been like if that ever, like, yep, that wouldn't have been his density. That's such a, like, you think about that movie and like Biff, like, is such a Biff. That was crazy storyline. And was it like Under the Sea dance or something like that? Let's see. Luna Project says, anyone else think the Tesla truck looks like a DeLorean? I think it looks like a stink bug. That's my 2 cents on the Tesla truck. And my husband actually got to drive a Cybertruck, and he said it was like driving a spaceship. But it's not an attractive car, and the fact that it's connected to Elon Musk, there's no way that I would spend a dime on anything that he does. But that's my own opinion. Opinions expressed on this show are the hosts expressly. So let's see. Aaron says, when Doc Kane met Reverend McFly. And Luna says, it's hideous about the Tesla truck. Correct. Let's see. Paul says, did you see Biff do the Back to the Future song? It's pretty funny. I did not. Is that on YouTube? I would like to see that. Do you mean the Back to the Future song "The Power of Love" by Huey Lewis and the News? Because wasn't that the big song in Back to the Future? Let's see. She says she's seen one in person. Yes, they are hideous. Ren said, Time Riders is a time travel movie where the lead sleeps with his own grandma and he's his own grandpa. Mike Nesmith produced it. There's so much to unpack in this sentence. Okay. I'm as intrigued as I am, I think this one's a pass. Time Riders. Okay. Kyler says, I saw a Cybertruck in the wild. It's way more surreal in person. They really are. I've also seen one in the flesh to say, and they're something. Let's see. Luna Project says, I forgot that Huey Lewis was in the movie as a judge. I forgot that too. I forgot he had that connection. I wonder if that's why they used the song. Maybe it's give me a role in the movie and you don't have to pay for royalties for the song. Aaron said, even though he was an ass, I felt for Biff. How much horse poop did that guy eat over those films? That's funny. Ren says he didn't know. I would hope he didn't know he was sleeping with his own grandmother. I mean, it's still creepy, but I would give, it's kind of crazy though. You have this you're going back to a time and you can go back to anywhere in the time and you happen to meet your own grandmother. That's just crazy. Oh, Paul says no, he does a comedy act and plays a song that's about filming Back to the Future. Okay, if you could find that and send me the link, I would absolutely love to check that out. And Luna said, I think he did the whole soundtrack. That would make sense. I can see him doing the whole soundtrack. Huey Lewis in the News, when those songs come on, I immediately start singing along. Like that, it's just a vibe. It just brings me back to that time period. And that's also when bands had 15 people in them. You don't see that much anymore. Like the Toto and, all these bands were they had to have 8 buses just for the band members because, there's 10 trumpets and a triangle player and 2 keyboards. There were humongous productions. Yes, Luna Project says Chicago, another band with 100 members in it. People just don't want to pay to travel with that many members anymore, I don't think, because it's not as common. Although Snack Time has a lot of members. If you're not familiar with them, they're a Philly band, and they're a lot of horns and groovy music. If you like that, check out Snack Time. They're pretty cool. Paul says, have you seen what's going on with Journey? Not recently. I know they were just touring, and I know they've been touring with the third singer for years now. But I have not seen any recent news on them. Hello, my gorgeous friend. Hi, Shani. Okay, so I'm gonna tell tales. That's my friend that I gave the Queensryche CD to that I was telling the ghost story about earlier. So I'm so glad you're on here. Hey, baby. Let's see. I thought I heard Steve wants to return to singing. Okay, Steve Perry, we're back to Journey. I can see that. I don't know. I know he had cancer. I believe I heard that somewhere, but that he's in remission. So maybe, those things are always tough because part of me always thinks original singer, but then dude that's been doing it for years and years and years and years, you kind of want them to duet it, because you don't want to kick out the new guy because he's been with them for so long and he sounds just like him. It's kind of crazy. Aaron says Parliament. Yep. George Clinton and P-Funk. They've got a lot of people. If you have not seen the movie PCU, I highly recommend it. Let's see. Luna says, I don't know if Return with them, but seen something recently. Steve Perry could go his own way. He had O'Sherry as a solo hit. It's not like he hasn't done solo stuff before. I would absolutely see why he would rather do Journey stuff. But it could be a situation Sebastian Bach. He hasn't been with Skid Row in years. Skid Row still plays Skid Row songs. Sebastian Bach still plays Skid Row songs. So there are times when you can both be playing the same songs in two different capacities. Let's see. Paul says Jonathan Keane is suing the guitarist for maxing out the band credit card. They had to cancel their European leg of the tour to figure out. Is this Journey? How much was on the credit card? What would you buy to max out a credit line given to a band? Damn. I mean, Amazon is really dangerous, though, so I can see how that can happen. And Paul says Steve Perry had another solo album with 2 hits, 2 or 3 years. I only know Oh Sherry as his only solo single, but maybe I missed it. Let's see. Ren says touring is so physically intense, Steve couldn't keep up with their schedule. Arnell is doing fine. Yeah, Arnell, that's his name. I love Arnell. I think he's super talented. Oh, God, Paul says $1 million credit limit. Damn. Luna's saying a house. Yeah, if he bought a house on a credit card. That's crazy. And Aaron can mimic Steve Perry singing Oh Sherry. Again, I want to see all this stuff. I want to see it. I want to hear it. I want the links. Luna says there was a love song too. I'm trying to remember. Oh, No More Crying was the most recent hit, Paul says. I'm going to have to look that up. I feel like I might know it, but I just don't know the name. So I would have to hear it. Okay. You guys are going to have me on a mission now, like listening to Steve Perry songs. That's funny. I always liked the video for, I think it was Separate Ways, because they're just like all standing on a dock and this like really scary woman's walking. And I'm like, is that what they're all fighting over, this scary woman in the Home Depot? Like, what the hell is this video about? I love 80s music videos because they make no fucking sense. And they're just like one view for 2 minutes. You couldn't do that anymore. Everything now is like boom, 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 switch scene, switch scene. 80s are like, the stage, and everybody's like, whoa, and everybody's dun, 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 like they're all doing the guitar thing and sing, that doesn't happen anymore. People have no time to sit there and watch the same scene for 3 minutes. But back then we loved it. So things evolve. Let's see. Luna says, whoops, I clicked it. It didn't come up. That's our generation clips for the songs. Yep, all the clips with it. Okay, Aaron's got an amazing song to mention to you. I am ready for it. What is this? Amazing songs. I love music. I love all kinds of music. So I'm always looking for new things. Oh, Paul says Genesis Land of Confusion video makes me chuckle. I love those puppets. They had a name, but like it has, Ronald Reagan and Nancy in bed. And like he gets up to call the nurse and hits the nuclear button at the end of the video instead of the nurse. And it's like, that's some nurse. It's, I remember that video. Oh, Leah's got to go. Bye, sweetie. Love you. Thank you for hopping on. I'm going to be going in a minute myself because today was supposed to be a mini-sode and it's been over an hour because I love talking to you guys so much. Let's see. Aaron says it's a song by an 80s artist singing with his daughter. Let's see. Luna says, love that video. Paul's asking, was Jim Henson involved? And I don't think so. Ren says Spitting Image. I think Spitting Image was the puppets. I don't think Jim Henson was involved. I could be wrong. But I really don't think so. But it was a really fun video. Like, and again, practical effects. All the puppeteers, all the puppets, everything was like real life, no computerized things. So that was really fun. Okay, Aaron says, Gary Newman, My Name is Ruin. I'll have to look that up. I don't know that one. I will definitely check that out. Paul says, thanks for sharing your vacation time with us. Absolutely. I wasn't going to miss this. I love you guys. But I am going to have to go soon because I think they're waiting on me for dinner. So I don't want to be rude. But let's see. And Lizzie says yes for is that the song or is that for I don't yeah for Gary New. I'm gonna check that out. Love you and miss you terribly too, Shani. She's awesome. She's just an awesome human. Um, but yeah, I'm going to wrap this up, guys, because I didn't realize we'd been on here so long, honestly, because I've been having so much fun talking to you. Yep. And Luna says, see, I can keep talking. Tom Perry, Don't Come Around Here No More was awesome. The Alice in Wonderland, like checkers, and all the girls are in the black and white. And then at the end, they're cutting Alice in pieces and eating her because she's made of cake. Awesome fucking video. Ren, see you when you get back. Yes, we need to make plans. We say it all the time. You know how grown-ups are. We always say we need to get together, and then we blink and it's been 6 months. So we need to absolutely get together. Thank you, Lizzie. I'm going to enjoy the rest of my vacation. It's been phenomenal, and I'm just so grateful to have the time away with my family. We're going to go play some Cards Against Humanity. And also, I wanted to show you guys my death tattoo from Gerald in the Afterlife. If you follow my social media, then you will see I follow Gerald in the Afterlife. I absolutely love death. He's adorable. So quick story, and then I am really going to hop and go eat my dinner. But every year, my friend, my daughter, and I get henna tattoos, and we pick a theme. So this year's theme is Grim Reapers, and I had to go with death. So he's henna. He'll be hanging on me for a few weeks, but I think he's adorable, and I love him. So I wanted to show him off. Wow, he's on my bicep. But anyway, I hope you guys all have a fantastic rest of your day. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, Tony, ha! There's Tony of Gerald in the Afterlife. I'm going to post a better picture so you can see him, but thank you for letting me get him because I asked permission first. So thank you. But I appreciate all of you that hopped on here with me tonight. I love you guys. You make me smile. You make my heart swell. I love you. And I appreciate you taking the time to just hang out with me on Thursdays. It's so fun. I never know what we're going to talk about. And you just keep me in such a great mood and just make my spirit happy. So thank you. I love you guys. And remember, when life hits you, you got to take it head on, because when you stick your head in the sand like an ostrich, you think you're hiding from the world, but the rest of the world just sees a big ass. Have a great day.